pledge.
Do it 3 times though, at least.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, we ask of you today to give us wisdom in our decisions about this beautiful place you let us live in. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, has anyone had a chance to look over the minutes?
Yes.
I saw one correction, CC&R violation discussions. C, broken picnic table, yada, 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 and advised 30 removal. I assume that's supposed to be 30-day removal.
Any others? I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion we approve minutes.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? All approved. Okay. Consideration of permit applications. First one on the list is Henry and Lydia Flowers, Unit 3, Lot 14, placement and painting storage unit. And we tabled it at the last meeting to have someone go out and look at that to see if the electrical lines were going to be an issue if it were moved to the back of the lot. Did you get a chance to do that, Bill?
Yes, I did, and as of right now, the electric line from the meter to the house does not affect anything, and the only thing it would affect is depending on how far back to the back of the property would go, would determine whether it goes over the electric line.
Okay, so if it were to go to the back of the property, how much leeway is there before, you know, how close to the back can it be without it being a problem?
I would say to leave like 10 feet.
10 feet from the back?
Because the electric goes from the meter, which is at the corner of the property, to basically the corner of the trailer, even though there is a shop built alongside the trailer, it only goes back as far as the trailer.
Okay.
But they have a cart and a greenhouse back there right now on the area that we were just talking about.
Somebody have an alarm going off?
Yes, he can shut his off.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So what do y'all want to do?
Well, I guess what frightens me is they're what, 4 inches, 5 inches away from the other property?
No.
I think they're 18.
18 inches?
Yeah, but 18 inches is only,
Yeah. If there was a fire in that building for any reason, it would catch that other unit on fire immediately, being that close. I would just prefer to see it moved to the back of the property. I think when we live here, we forget that we need to respect everybody else that lives here too.
Well, you know, on the other hand, the next door property has a cement slab up to the property line with a 6-foot, I'm assuming it's 6 foot, I didn't measure, but a 6-foot fence right on the property. And the way it looks is the driveway, cement slab, if you will, has been raised up above Flowers' grade level, let's say. So you're looking at something like this, and then a fence. So she's right on the property line. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's just that she's on the property line.
You can have-
Right, 'cause they have
you can
zero
a
lot
fence
lines
on the
in.
property line.
Yeah, I realize that, but what I'm saying is that that's what's right on the property line.
Right,
And then you have 18 inches, and then you have this new mobile, this unit that she's putting, or they are putting.
yeah. Looking at the pictures though, it looks like that roof overhang was also right there at the property line. So I mean, the fence would have been neither here nor there. Was the fence there, at the time you moved into the house, or did you put the fence up?
There was a fence there, but we put a new one up because the building was falling.
Okay, so there was one there and you just put a new one, replaced it. Okay, so that wasn't bad.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that, you know, just for visual, the fence that she has is right up to the property line, and the roof of it comes right to, right over the fence. So there is no break from property to property, if you will.
Anybody have anything else to say?
Except that there is room for emergency to get through there.
You can walk between the two, the trailer and the fence. Because I did.
You're skinny.
It's up to y'all.
Can I walk between the trailer and the fence?
If you had to get through there, yes, you could without, I mean, without really seriously, you know, huffing, doing one of those things, you know. I mean, you could get through there. I don't, you may have to go in sideways or something like that, but you could get through. It's not that close.
What, I guess the question would be, what is the problem with moving it back? And what would we accomplish by moving it back? Isn't it still gonna be run up against the,
It'd be basically about the same distance away from the fence as it is now. View from the carport to Flowers' property, if you're standing on the carport, you can't see through, over the fence anyway. Now, if you're in the trailer and looking out, if that unit was not there, that shed, you'd be looking in your neighbor's windows. Because that's all there is to see there. I mean, you know, there's no vista view that you can see.
You weren't
Looking
here
at your
last
neighbor.
week, but I guess the original, there was a complaint from a neighbor who, the shed is just totally blocked off any view that she had. They're so close together over there that there's just, you know, it's like Unit 14, you know, everybody's on top of each other. And that was the neighbor's complaint, was that it just totally blocked off any view that they had, and all they see is a wall. And so that was the reason for considering moving it, which this
Because if
committee
you
has the authority to do if they so choose.
If you move the trailer further into the property trailer,
Building.
the shed into the property further, I would still think that from the neighbor's point of view, you're gonna look out, you're still gonna see the shed.
Yeah, it depends upon
You
where
won't
you
see
are
it,
in
you
your,
won't
in
see
your
it looking
mobile
this
home,
way,
sure.
but you'll see it looking this way, and you'll see it looking this way.
Right, exactly,
So you're gonna see it no matter what.
yeah.
So what the view is, I don't know.
I guess it's just from the point of view, so to speak, of the neighbor, you know, is, so, but whatever your pleasure is, anybody. I think we need to make a decision.
I can't see that unless in agreement with their next door neighbor, they wanted to move it, I can't see why they would have to move it. I think it's fine where it
I
is.
think you're right there too. It's,
Mhm.
they're perfectly in their right to put it where they wanna put it. And since there is no setback, I don't know what you can do there. You know, you could take the scenario, okay, we're gonna go and buy 5 trees and plant them over there. You lose the view again, you know, you're gonna lose the view again.
Exactly.
So,
And my only concern would be the fire, you know, the emergency situation. Not the placement so much or the view so much, but as the emergency situation. With everything being so close as it is, you can't get in, you know, I mean, firemen come in, you know, all bulked up want
Well,
going.
you
Or
can get
for
on,
EMS purposes, you know, getting
you can
somebody-
get on the one side. On their trailer side, there's room to get through. You can walk through there without any problem.
Right.
And like I said, on the backside, if you had to get in there, you could, but, like, again, you have a fire in one of the trailers, they're so close, I don't think we'll stop, no matter what you have between, will stop a fire or jumping. Depending on the seriousness of the fire, obviously.
Exactly.
I make a motion to be approved.
A second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Second. Evidently, there's not a violation of CCNRs here.
No.
There's an evident violation of CCNRs. So really, the problem with this does not really come to this committee, actually. This is more of a misunderstanding between a couple of neighbors that need to resolve an issue there. And I would recommend that both neighbors try to work together to resolve this. Maybe one push and one shove or something, get it worked out. Because unfortunately, that particular unit over there does not have guidelines that, you know, for that. It's just, those are one of the unfortunate things that are. And I'm sorry that it's happened, and I'm sorry for both parties, but,
Right.
you know, we can't make rules as we
The
go along.
legality of it is they can do it.
Right, exactly. So, all in favor? One abstain,
Yeah, I did.
two abstain. Motion carries. Okay, what do you want to do about the fine for
No permit.
no permit? How do you want to handle that?
It's normally a $25 assessment, is that correct? Is that what's been in the past?
Replacement before approval?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on here.
But it wouldn't be on the permit, I wouldn't think.
I haven't seen anything about it anywhere.
I thought that was changed this past year to a different amount.
I think so.
The board approved that and changed it to a different figure, but I don't remember what the figure was now. For commencing the work before the permit's issued.
I made a motion at one time that it'd be $100. And maybe people would,
Well, we don't know
Realize
what the-
that, but
we don't
I don't know what the board
though.
approved.
So it would be, if we're gonna do a fine, it would be whatever the board approved, or not a fine, but an assessment for starting work without a permit. We need to check with Janelle and find out.
Okay. So I can
What the board approved.
approved with exception pending chief replacement with no permit.
Right.
where is Janelle?
She's here.
Do we
I'm
need
not
to
sure she's
vote
in the
on
meeting,
that?
but-
That should be an automatic, shouldn't it? Do we need to vote on that? That should be an automatic, shouldn't it? I don't think that's something we need
Yeah,
to
I think
vote.
it is unless in some instances want to be waived.
Yeah, if we wanna waive it,
Yeah.
that would take an action, but not.
Okay.
May I ask a question on the fine? It was only on there for 2 weeks. Does that make a difference?
Well,
And
the
the 2 weeks have
violation
been here.
is as of the day that it was done without a permit. So the fact that it was on there for 2 weeks only extends the violation. But, and on some things, actually, the violation is on a per-day basis, but in this case, it wouldn't be. It would just be whatever the set fine is. And I don't know what that is, but Camille will research that and find out what it is, because the board did make a decision on that, and they will know what that amount is.
Okay, if the structure is removed off of the property, does that alleviate any permit or fine or whatever?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
We would waive, we'd have to vote to make that the waive, but we have to give a number of days that it has to
right,
be moved.
exactly.
Removed.
If I understand reading the committee reports, there's a verbal warning, a written warning, and then the institution of the fine, jumping straight to the fine.
It's in your CCNRs for the units, the different units.
And different units have different,
Yeah, exactly, they do. But any
Thank
unit,
you.
structures
For
or
enlightening.
any construction does have to have a permit, so.
We have that.
I would, I'm not sure I could think of, well, we haven't voted yet, did we?
No, in fact, we don't need to vote on that. The fine is something that is
Yeah.
assessed automatically when there's a violation. It's not something we need to vote on unless we were to waive it, and then it would take an action.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Also, in the situation, is the other party going to install a gutter on that roof? Because it spills over into,
I understand.
it
and-
floods our lot.
Right, I understand that, and that's something that, again, you know, it's not something that we,
Yeah, it's not something.
it's not something we have any control over. If she wanted to do that just to keep peace, to install guttering along that side, then that would, you know, be her decision, just like if you want to leave the shed there, that's your decision. I would think to keep peace, that both of you would do what you could to not be irritating your neighbor. And, you know, and I realize how that is, because I live in a unit where everybody's close together and all the roofs in concrete and flooding, but we all have guttering that directs our water not onto our neighbors, but down on the ground off, you know, running off in a direction that's not, but it's not required. So that is, again, something that you might work out between you. If it's, you know, unfortunately, we haven't had much rain lately, but when we do, I understand that, yes, I understand that. It'd definitely be an issue.
Katie, if they'll move the building, I'll put the gutters up.
Okay? So there we've got a compromise. If you'll move the building, she'll put up the guttering.
Wonderful.
Again, if we move the building, where?
Well, that's your choice.
I mean,
He has
we
indicated.
have limited space as to where we can put it.
I understand. He looked at your lot and said if you moved it within 10 feet of the back, you probably wouldn't be interfering with your electrical lines
No, you'd be interfering with a tree,
with a tree.
yes. There's a tree in the backyard.
There is a tree back there.
Uh-huh.
It's a huge tree.
Mhm. Okay, so your options may be limited if you can't, you know, if there's no place to put it but where it is, then, you know, again, that's something that you have to decide whether you are gonna move it off the property or whether you're going to leave it where it is. That's your decision. You know, that's not anything that we have we can't, you know, require that you do that. That's your decision. And she has offered to do the guttering if you move the building, and so, you know, it's compromise both ways. You'll have to work that out between you. Okay, moving on to the next one, John Rosetsky, Unit 15, lots 56 and 7. Replace rotted wood on the carport with upgraded material.
Wasn't this here several months ago?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And then he became ill and wasn't able to complete the project. This is just a addition to the original permit.
It's a replacement of what already there.
Right.
Too many things here, Mike.
I speak? It's a upgrade. I was informed by a master carpenter that purchasing pressure-treated lumber, when it comes green off the shelf, you should let it dry out for a few months, because if you put pressure on it, it could twist. And purchased the lumber and upgrade, and I'm just existing maintenance. Now that the lumber has dried, I would like to reinstall the rotted wood that was termites hacking. That's all.
Okay.
We had already approved permit one time to
Right.
start doing some of this, and he came back in to do some replacement of material on the carport. And J.E. had asked to give a material list as to what he needed. And he's pretty well provided that as to sizes and lumber and hardy plank, the different things that he's gonna use on there. I'd make a motion to approve.
I'd second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Question, how old was the old,
The old permit?
the old permit?
It's last year, wasn't it, John?
It was at the beginning of the year, and then my father became ill with cancer, and I could not complete.
It's
Everything.
It's been probably a year and 3 or 4 months.
So I'm just upgrading everything with better materials, and after 30 years, termites happen.
True. Around here they do. Neil, do you have anything for us?
That's what I was wondering.
I'm replacing apples with apples and just upgrading the apples.
This would be an extension of the existing permit
Right.
If it's been a year.
with an amendment. But they expire at the end of 6 months anyway.
Right, exactly, so it's a new permit.
It's a new permit.
It depends on whether it's $10 or $20 is what it depends
Yeah,
on.
it's a brand new permit, because it's too late to extend. It was expired.
I don't think I have anything official, just
Okay,
questions and ideas.
Question, just, probably nobody, I'm not sure if anybody here knows, but did they take up the approval of Mr. Giblin for?
No, they did not.
No,
They did
it
not.
was, I called Debbie Isaacs, and it's supposed to be, she asked about it also. And, I think, Janelle said that she was preparing it for the next meeting. but
Because he
people
wouldn't, if he was approved this past meeting, he would have to wait a month anyway before he goes on,
Right,
right?
Why?
So,
well, no, because we.
Well, there's several that,
He's
they're
replacing.
doing it all in May.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the board meeting in May, and they appoint them, and then they take
Yeah.
office the 1st of June.
He could have taken, be sitting here because he was replacing Lee Winchell, who was on the committee.
okay, you're right, you're right.
right, and we're at midterm, and if we were short members, then
Yeah.
I'm sure that they would have done
I
it.
would have been sworn there, trying to wait till next weekend.
Okay, Bob, do you have anything for the board?
Not this morning.
Not this morning?
I do,
Okay,
I always have something, no,
go ahead.
I just like taking up everybody's time. I have got a problem, and I've turned it over to Giselle, but she's not here. I just want everyone to be aware of it. If you will drive by my house, I think everybody knows where I live. I live down the street from George.
Well, maybe not everybody knows where I live.
Oh, well, that's true. See, I live on Fairway Circle. There is a house, there's a cul-de-sac right before you get to
Ash Lane.
Ash Lane. There's only one unit there, it's a double wide. It's owned by a gentleman. I thought that he had moved to Del Rio. I understand maybe he lives in one of the 49ers.
I don't know.
But the person that, he rented that property to has installed a swimming pool, above-ground swimming pool, without a permit. And 10 feet onto my property, because I own the lot in back of my house. It's, right now, half of that swimming pool is on my property. It's not
We-
fenced, no permit, not fenced, across the property line.
We can address the pool and no permit, but we cannot address whether it's on your property or his property.
Get a chainsaw, cut it off at the property line.
Oh, you can send him a letter notifying him that that's your property and
Yeah.
want the pool removed from it. There's not anything that this committee can do with it.
Okay.
We can do as far as the permit and the pool.
Yeah, we can say that that they put the swimming pool up without a permit. I don't think it needs a fence or anything, because it is above ground pool, and I imagine
If
they're about
if
that
there's
high.
access to the pool, it has to have fence around it
Right.
if it's on less than 5 acres. That's
State law.
Oh, okay. So even if it's 4 feet
Right.
above the,
It has a permanently attached ladder to it, you can walk up it.
Plus, it should be on, it should, because the permit, it should have a setback, it should fit the setback situation too, right?
See, that's
And
where
we've got
I'm
another one
at.
setting actually on the edge of a road easement
on the same street.
on the
Yeah.
same street.
I mean, I don't know, you can't exactly, you can send it to the renter if you want to. I don't know
Well,
that.
the renter's
but-
not,
but it's-
no.
But it's not the renter's.
It's the
It's the
homeowner's
homeowner's
problem,
It's
responsibility.
the
That's
homeowner's
right.
Yeah,
responsibility.
can you find out who the owner is?
Sure,
and-
would you
send a letter to
mind
them?
pointing out on, let me get a lot number, at least, or an address, if you know the address of, and the other one.
Janelle has a
George.
name,
Okay, she has a name.
and she's very familiar with this property owner.
Okay,
Um,
so I'll send the no permit.
I have a question for you, just bringing it back up again. There are a number of these above-ground pools, there's not a one of them that has a
We've
fence
never,
around
I've
it.
never been, since I've been here, we've never had anybody request a permit for one.
No, but I've
We've
also,
got
but
one
I've,
over on
It's lot
Bullhead, we
24
just,
on Ashland.
a couple months ago, we issued a
I don't know
permit
what the
Yeah.
block
to
is.
put a fence on it for a swimming pool in the backyard, above ground swimming pool.
Well-
the question still arises, there's a number of them around that have no fence around them. Are we going to send letters out to all these people to do this?
We probably do need to find out,
we need to find out where they are and get them fenced.
and, you know,
Yeah.
You know, it's, like George said, it's a state law.
It's a
It's
state
not
law.
something that we have sat here and made up, it's a state law.
the property, Mickey Hubert's property over there, we've been trying for 2 years to get a fence around that.
Yeah, but that's
That's
ground level.
ground level.
Yeah.
And, but the state law doesn't say, it just says if there's excess,
Access to-
Okay, I'm gonna ask a
above
question.
ground, in ground.
When you said what you said a minute ago about that I would have to write the letter, what I'm actually talking about is the setback rule from the back property line.
If
Is
it's
it-
across the property line, on your property, this committee does not.
We don't have anything to say about
we
how
can-
far it has to be from the back property
can-
line of that house?
Well, we can tell him it has to be within the setbacks.
And a permit should have been
And a
acquired.
permit should have been
They're
acquired.
in violation of the permit rule. if
Right.
you
Right.
will.
And
Well, maybe, you
that
know,
point would move it off your property.
Right,
But we
that's
can't
what I'm
send him
talking
and
about.
tell him that he's on your property.
no, I'm
That's not
asking
this
that
committee's-
we address the situation that he's actually,
Right.
Yeah, it would have to be addressed as a violation of.
A violation of the
Of a
permit.
permit and setback rules,
Yeah, no permit,
and no
Right.
setback, and
And
didn't follow
setback
setback
requirements.
rules, and therefore,
and it needs to be fenced.
and it needs to be fenced.
well, that too, if that's, by state law, I guess we could probably find out.
And
what the
Janelle
state
has a
law is.
copy of that. We obtained a copy of the state law and gave it to Janelle. That was to do with the fence, or the pool over there on Mickey Hubert's property.
Okay, so do we need a motion to this effect? To send a letter?
I so move, I move that a letter be sent to address the problem.
I say,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Approved by all.
And you also need to add into that vote, I guess, Lou Green on,
I can't, I mean,
Fairway Circle also,
her
corner of
husband
Tennis
was
Court
homeless.
and Fairway Circle. They have one between the garage and the ditch, which is actually out in the,
On another pool?
another pool. Just put in.
So are we gonna try to write a letter, have a letter written to everyone that's got a pool
Yeah,
above
we
ground?
need
that-
to-
that
we
has
need-
not-
Well, it has to be on their
Sign
own
off.
property, because we did have this problem last year, and where we were sending out the letters to everyone that had things that were in the green areas that needed to be
Right.
moved, so we need
Right.
to, you need to keep, enforcing that, and if people are taking advantage and encroaching upon the green areas, then yes, it has to be addressed.
What is this?
So you might also send a letter to,
It'd be the same letter, wouldn't it?
the same letter.
Right.
No
Same letter.
permit violation? no
Permit
fe-
violation, it doesn't meet setbacks,
And then, fence?
and no fence,
Is the no
And-
fence a CCNR violation or a state law violation?
state law violation on the fence.
So really, our scope is just regarding the permit, no permit.
And,
Not
and
the-
setback.
Yeah, but they should be made
They
aware.
need to be aware of the
They need
law.
to be
Yes,
aware of the
exactly.
law.
Yeah, they
Would
need
it
to
be
be made-
redundant if we put that somewhere that, and in accordance with state law?
I think
Yes.
a CCN, I think state law violation is a CCNR violation.
Is it
What
there
is
somewhere?
what is the setback in
I believe it's in
27?
there someplace,
Should
that
be.
they have to
Well,
follow
it
the.
depends on it depends on a
It's
lot of
already
it
done
on the
70s.
block. Because some of them have a 10-foot, some of them have a 15-foot, everything's pretty much 5-foot setback. 10-foot rear setback, but there's differences in there that change on the front.
Yeah, they do.
So the
Some
fence-
blocks are
the
10
fence
foot,
is
some
state
blocks are
law.
15.
Yeah, unit 27,
Is
just
this Lou
quickly
Green?
here, Norrisburg. Block J through G is a 10-foot front, 5 side, 10 rear.
So greens are on.
Block
what lot,
A,
George?
B, E, F, G is a
What
15
lot is-
front, 5 side, 10
Number
rear.
is, green.
Green, oh,
Is it blue green?
Excellent, yeah, is that?
But I think what the witness one is facing the side, not
Tennis court, that's lot 6, block N.
Lot 6, block N.
Right.
Did you get that, Camille?
Lot 6, block N.
There is her name.
Green.
green,
Is this 27 you're talking about?
yeah.
No, I'm just looking at the setbacks. I don't see a block N.
Block N is
It's
away
unit
from,
27.
is away
Yeah,
from.
no, I know.
Yeah, it's unit 27.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, but what I'm
looking at the
saying is that the
setbacks.
block number is
Front.
not listed on this paper.
Oh, he's looking at.
I'm looking at the setback, under the setbacks.
On which, the,
In the front of the book where.
in the front of the book?
Yeah.
I
They
don't
may
know.
have left it out because there is a block N. It's on the plat.
So whatever was for unit 27 would stand for that, whether, if it wasn't specifically addressed.
Which lot did you say?
Lot 6, block N.
Only one lot.
Well, I think they're on lot 6 and 7. 7's behind it.
Yeah, it's a double.
Pool's
it's a
probably
double.
on 7.
Is it? This is Fairway Circle going, I guess,
Toward airport.
no, this is 4 o'clock road here.
Mhm.
This is going, I guess, toward.
Now go the other way.
Go the other way.
Okay.
Go the other way down to Tennis Court. It's a little bitty cul-de-sac.
Ah, yes, I got you.
And it's the first lot, if you turn it into it, it's the first lot on the right-hand
okay.
side, or second lot, it could be 6 or 7,
Yeah, it looks like block N to me too. here in a minute.
and it's block N.
I also think when you write that letter to the owner of that unit on Ash, he needs to be made aware, and everyone else needs to be made aware, you might want to put it in the newsletter. If they rent their property to someone, they are responsible as the owner of that property for whatever their renters do. We're not gonna go in and fine the renter for putting up a swimming pool. we're gonna find the owner. And I think that needs to be, you know, maybe people will start watching their property to see what's going on. If they know they are the ones that are gonna have to pay the fine.
Yeah, that one is gonna be lot 25, block Q.
Yeah, Bill, in reference to the one in
Thank
27,
you.
the greens, you'd have to go by the setbacks that are in the CC.
Okay, well, I was just looking at the
Yeah,
page here.
because it
that-
wasn't specifically addressed over there.
Okay.
But it does say, in this part, it does say 10 feet front and rear and 5 feet from the side lot lines.
In the letter, does it need to state that a fee will be assessed for commencing construction for no permit? And then just directly into make arrangements to speak with someone from architectural?
Either they can come in and address the committee, but the pool over the lot line to begin with is, needs to be entirely on their lot.
Yeah.
It needs to be, according to state law,
I mean,
you know, it needs to be
as
fixed.
it is, they've already violated this.
But they're encroaching on the green area.
They're
Okay.
violating CCNR.
I mean, so we're advising them that a fee has already been, I mean, they've already done said action, so they can be
Right.
fee,
Right,
or fined
exactly.
already.
Right.
Without permit.
We usually give them a chance to cure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 30 days, or is it 15 days?
Before you assess.
And
And I wouldn't have a
think
problem
It
with
doesn't,
that.
it
It's,
No.
doesn't happen very
You
often,
wanna
but
do
She's
it's,
a widow and,
yeah,
Pools aren't exactly easy to just,
up and move, you're right.
well, I don't know.
But it still should have been.
Above ground pools are pretty simple, you empty them,
right,
tear
you
them
empty them
down.
and take it down, and move them. They're very lightweight without water in them.
they still have a 30-day.
That's one of these
Before a
that
fine
we
is
were
assessed.
talking about just a little while ago. You do it verbally once, you do it, then you send the letter.
Yeah.
Well, security was supposed to go out there. I have not talked to Matt to find out. Security lives at that house. They've been out there so many times. So, I don't know if anything's been done.
Well, you
We
might
need
have.
to get with Janelle and find out if anything's been done on the property on Ash already. I doubt it because she was trying to get ready for the board meeting, but
Is landscape gravel, that's also a permitted thing, isn't it? Somebody comes in with a load of landscape gravel, or is it? Maybe, not really.
Yeah, it should be, because you're supposed to even do it for planting trees or stuff like that.
I can't see where gravel's a problem.
Yeah,
Okay, anything else?
What about the one where the gentleman over there in 15 was driving across the curb and up through back there? Has that been rectified? Is that still? do we
They
know?
are no longer driving through there.
Okay.
They're actually making a little circle in front of their own property, so I can tell they're pulling in and pulling out on the street.
Yeah, last time I
They
went
were-
by there, the car was this way against the street as opposed
Yeah.
to coming in from the back.
Yeah.
it looks like they parked a trailer or something out there that, and then if they did come through, they'd have to stop at that trailer and go all the way back out. They've got a little small trailer parked in there.
I hadn't seen that one.
Okay, on Fairway Circle, the red double wide there that still doesn't have the skirting around it, and that's been,
Janelle mentioned that. yesterday.
Hernandez.
I believe they're still within 30, like, I have my violation file, I'll look at the date.
Yeah, they're within, but in fact, they're still within their first 6 months of business.
Oh.
They
Yeah,
haven't, it hasn't been 6 months
November.
since that was approved,
End
yeah.
of this month will be 6 months.
Really? Thought I worked in here in November?
You,
I remember
You get a
doing that one, but I
salary and I
don't remember the
don't?
date.
It was in November, but they actually lived in the house for a week with no water or sewer.
no water, no sewer, no electricity, nothing.
Oh, no, they had electricity.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had electricity before they moved in, but no water and sewer.
That's why you have an adult center and a swimming pool.
And that's on, where's that at?
right there at the corner of Fairway Circle
Lot.
and,
Lots 4 and 5.
up to the airport.
Block J.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unit 27.
Yeah, I've heard some complaints about that.
Mhm.
It looks pretty bad.
Who owns
Yes.
that new one that has moved in over on the, that is sitting almost on the tee box over there on the golf course?
Oh, number
Yeah.
number
Yeah,
nine,
they just
Fairway?
moved that in, that
Uh-huh.
needs to be
Ken
screened yet
Carver.
too.
In Carver.
They haven't moved in, have
No.
No.
A lot of, doesn't look like they're doing
He
anything.
don't
like-
have, he
Well,
won't
he
have
was
electricity for
renting
another
over on
month or so.
Rotoma, so he's moving into that.
Hmm?
I said he was renting.
Yeah, I think they're planning on
over
living
on-
there.
Yeah, they're planning on living there, right?
Fools that they are.
Yeah, he's,
I mean, I can't imagine.
he's GM for Hardwood.
And I'd be putting plexiglass all over
Well,
the
we
back of that
we
unit.
suggested on his windows on the front door and the front side, bulletproof.
Bulletproof would be good.
Wait till you get the complaints after he moves in. You gotta move that golf course, the balls are hitting
Yeah.
my house.
Golf course was there first.
I know. But
Look,
same thing with the airport
I,
nonsense you hear
I
too.
find golf balls in my yard. Now, when you find out where I live.
I know where
drive
you
up-
live.
Okay,
That's a heck of a hook, ain't it?
I'm sorry, Barbara, when I drive by there, I'll quit throwing them out.
Okay, anything else to come before the committee?
I have a question, please. In front of my house, it's a lot, it's called number 32 is on the trailer. The place has been vacant and is a source of termites and germs, and I looked at it, and now it's filled with feral cats.
Oh my God.
On a still day, I walk outside of the house, I overcome by the stench of cat urine from what's living in that trailer. It's used as the backboard by the neighbor kids to play football with. And
what is the street address?
this is Unit 15.
Bliss Circle.
Number 32.
The number on the house says 32. There was a for sale sign on it by a legal firm in San Antonio, and you call that number and you get no one.
Can you go by the front office and pick up a complaint form and file that with Camille so that we'll have that on record, that there has been a complaint
Yep.
filed against that property?
It was a legal firm?
Yes.
Why
I thought
would
it
a
was just
legal
a
firm
for sale sign.
There are people that encroach on green areas, empty lots, and this is just a trailer that's been abandoned and is a source for vermin.
You might check on, if you fill out that complaint form, you can check on that and find out if there's assessments or anything
Try to
like
contact the
that
owner.
due, it may be abandoned.
And it may?
Yeah, can't miss it. It's the one with the toilets out in the driveway.
Wow.
Well,
And
that's
if it was a legal
attractive.
firm, it may have been already tried to been sold on the courthouse steps. And
There
some of
was
them
a
have
for
been-
sale sign that was
They are
removed
proposed
by
against
the
it.
neighbors, or just blown away in the wind, I don't know. But
They could have,
But I don't know which lot
if they were
I
done
have
by
to,
somebody, if it wasn't done by
I'm
the
spraying
county,
down extra
somebody else could have
pesticide.
sale on the courthouse steps. They don't have to wait for the county.
Yeah, if it was
It could
foreclosed.
also be an
Shows
estate,
vacant lot in the picture,
Yeah.
but that's all.
so.
Well, let's wait until we get the formal
Yeah.
complaint in and then we'll address that issue. Okay,
Do
anything
that,
else?
So I
complaint
need to
today,
file a
John,
formal
please.
complaint.
Yes.
This place stinks and it's
Yes.
across the street.
Yes, you can get the forms in the front office.
Yeah,
and
they
they'll-
have all the forms up there.
Okay, anything else? Meeting adjourned.
Oh, God. Somebody take Katie's gavel away.
9:45.